What's going on, you guys? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing why I don't think there's a need for a Bloodborne 2. Hold on a second. Before you go typing, Ariel, are you doing this for clickbait? Oh my god, she doesn't think there's going to be a Bloodborne 2. Ah! I can't really scream because people are asleep in my house. Before you get anything in a twist, hold on a second. This is a video that has been in the works for quite some time. I have held this opinion, even though I think it would be very, very cool to see another universe in the Bloodborne world, if you will. I've held this opinion for quite a while. I just haven't really quite verbalized it on the tubes of you or Twitter or Blue Sky for that matter, because I'm kind of afraid of what the backlash could be. This is an opinion. This is a discussion video. If you guys post any negative comments at all whatsoever attacking me or my opinion, those comments will be deleted. Opinion on a game should not be taken as a personal attack. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So before I even get into my reasoning or my reasons bullet point of why I don't think there should be a Bloodborne 2, let's go into why people even want a Bloodborne 2 to begin with. Throughout all of the discussions I've seen on Twitter, I haven't actually seen anybody give a concrete reason as to why they exactly want Bloodborne 2. Is it because of the narrative design? Is it because of the creature design? Is it because of the NPCs that you met along the way? Is it because of the combat? What is the particular reason? Now, I've seen people say that they love the first game, that's why they want a Bloodborne 2. Fair enough. But I haven't actually seen people give a concrete reason as to why Bloodborne 2 should be on the market, should be something that players should invest their time into, specifically when Bloodborne 1 was such a specific game. It was such a tailored type of experience, you know? And you know, the thing is that there are so many different things in Bloodborne that would make a fantastic standalone game, like the Vile Bloods. They were very underutilized, like criminally so. And seeing the Vile Bloods was one of, if not my favorite sections of Bloodborne. I love the DLC, that's another favorite section of mine, but my top favorite has to be with the Vile Bloods. I love the vibe of it. I love how everything was crafted, how it was all molded. The castle was absolutely stunning. The boss, oh my god. Everything felt so incredibly final. When I was going through the game and even seeing the ending that you got with Moon Presence, after that ending, it felt like, okay, this is it. Like, I didn't go platinum yet or anything like that, but it felt like, wow, this is actually the end of the game. I didn't feel like there should have been or there could have been any kind of continuation after that. Even with the other ending you get, where you are the next Gearman, you are the next kind of watcher of the dream, if you will. There was such a finality in each ending that brought this bittersweetness of where, yeah, I'm going to miss my time with the game, but I don't think there should be a continuation of it. I mean, for example, Frambo, it's an indie game that I played years ago, and when I played the story, my heart was like, oh, this is it. Oh, it's like you kind of hurt that it's over, but you're glad that you experienced it, you know? I mean, after you experience a lot of boss battles even, or areas in the game, they have this kind of very finalized touch about them, you know, of where after you experience it, there isn't this kind of lingering thought of where, oh, I wonder if this area will continue in another segment or part of the game. Even the conversations that you have with certain NPCs, or even the first boss in the DLC, I'm forgetting his name right now. That's blasphemy that I'm forgetting the name of that boss right now. It'll be here in post-production, but you know, even the conversations that you have with some of the bosses, it's very final. It's very much like, this is it, you know? In all seriousness, I really don't think there is going to be a Bloodborne 2. I feel like so many people want a Bloodborne 2 because they miss the first experience they had with Bloodborne 1. And it's okay, you know, that's absolutely fine. Nostalgia is something of where you're craving something that you've already experienced because you enjoyed it so much. I think that Bloodborne 2 can exist, but not in the name Bloodborne 2. I feel like it could be called something else, or it could be done in an original IP from, you know, from software. You know, it's something that is not directly like a link to that game, because I feel like the time with that game is something so special, and it's something so precious, and it's kind of a unique experience of its own, that that game, to me at least, is something standalone. You can't really put an extension on that or create a second game or really add to what has already been created there. And probably the biggest reason why I don't think there is going to be a Bloodborne is the question of who the enemy is going to be in the next installment. Who would exactly be the enemy in Bloodborne 2? We have the great ones already in the first Bloodborne installment. Who would it be in the second game? If you go with a completely different enemy in the next game and not mention a lot of the enemies that were in the previous, you know, fans are going to be like, well, wait a second, where is this game going exactly? Because we had the great ones in the first one. Are they going to be in the second one? So you're kind of teetering on that tricky edge of, you know, not pleasing the audience, but going with something different, but also not keeping to the lore. It gets into a very tumultuous territory. And we all know, and I've said this before in theory crafting videos that I've done before, of where Miyazaki likes to incorporate different aspects from other games that he's done into certain current games that he's doing. For example, you have the Hunter's Badge in Dark Souls 3. So you have different mechanics, you have different pieces of lore, you have different pieces of iconography even that show up within each of the games that he does. The story and the lore need to be something that is heavily put into consideration if you were going to even think about doing a Bloodborne 2, because it needs to be different enough that the audience doesn't expect what is going to come next, but also understand and see the kind of the similarities within contents from the first game now brought into the second one. So there needs to be a delicate balance done. Do I know that From Software could easily do that? Yes. Should it be done? I don't think so. Not with this title, at least. And also, sometimes things just don't need another game. You know, that's, you know, my opinion. I said what I said. Sometimes things just don't need a continuation or another game. Sometimes just leaving well enough alone and having a game stand alone, just be itself and exist in its own right, the best you can do for it, honestly. And I think that Bloodborne is an example of a game that should not have a sequel to it. But those are my thoughts. Those were my reasonings as to why I don't think there will be a Bloodborne 2, why I don't think there should be a Bloodborne 2. Let me know of your thoughts down in the comments below. Again, a reminder, if you are nasty or backhanded or mean in any way, your comment will get hidden or deleted. So, but if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. May you find your worth in the waking world, your hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Basa.